Hello again everybody, it's me, Madam Macabre, and it has been a while since I've done a facecam video myself on this channel and not just my personal channel. Well, it's kind of a special occasion because I am finally back in the United States and home. For those of you who don't know, for the past 2 weeks or so, I have been out of the country in Italy, but I've finally returned and you can expect normal content once again. So the purpose of doing a face cam for today's video is that I actually have another personal experience I decided I would like to share with you all. See, when I went back to Italy, one of the places I stopped at was the Campo di Fiori, which was where I happened to be living the last time I was in Italy studying abroad. And that happens to be the place where I based my story, the Crawlspace, around. So for those of you who don't know, the Crawlspace is actually one of the first creepypastas I wrote besides maybe Locklear. And I actually have narrated it a while back, so if you're interested in listening to a narration of it, it's back in my videos. You can just search for it. Anyway, if you don't want to take the time to listen to what equates to well over a half-hour-long story in a narration form, I figured I could tell you a little bit about my actual, true, not exaggerated on experiences with it. Though that's not to discourage you guys from actually going back and listening or reading, because it's on creepypasta.com, my original story, because it is different, definitely different. I changed things up. I just based it on my experiences. So definitely I'd recommend if you're into more like real life type scary stories, go read it or listen to a narration. However, for today's video, it's more just like, this is what actually happened for what I based the story around, you know? So basically, once again, assuming you have not yet actually read The Crawlspace, when I was studying abroad in Italy, first I stayed in Florence for about 3 to 4 weeks, so about a month, and then for the second half of my stay, I was living in Rome. And while the college group was in Rome, they had us in various different apartment buildings. The majority of the class were actually staying in these brand new buildings that were much closer to the Vatican. Meanwhile, I and the group of people I was staying with were staying near this place called the Campo di Fiori, which was really nice, and it was actually much closer to our school building, so that was nice. But it was a very, very old building, well over 100 years, probably way older than that, I'm not sure. Coming from America, where our oldest is like 200 years old. We don't know what history is with buildings over here, but that was an old one. There was no elevators. It was far before elevators were a thing that place was built. It had been updated inside for the modern age with like electricity and stuff like that, but you could tell it was a very old building. Anyway, so me and my roommates, we get to this building and we realize, oh, it's up countless flights of stairs and we have to lug our luggage up there. Okay, cool. So we get our luggage, we haul it up all the stairs, and we're like sweaty and disheveled when we get up there because we had already been traveling. This was the same day we had left Florence. And I was sad because I really liked Florence. Florence is my favorite. If I wasn't living here, I'd be living there. Anyway, we get in, we fight with the key, we get it open, and we are very pleasantly surprised. See, the people in the brand new apartments closer to the Vatican, they were like little cookie cutter tissue box tiny apartments. This one, despite being super hecka old, it was massive. Like, I was not expecting it that much, and this was just for a small group of ladies. We were amazed because it was much bigger than anything we were expecting. It had about 3 bedrooms, which were large and had multiple beds in them, had what we thought were 2 bathrooms. Like, one bedroom didn't have one, the other two bedrooms had bathrooms connected. And then there was a kitchen, a living room, and an outdoor balcony thing, and a long hallway with a washing machine and dryer connected, which washing machines and stuff, you don't really see that over there in the apartments and stuff, at least from where we were staying. So that was a luxury. So of course we get in, and all my other roommates just fly off the handle, like running around like crazy, fighting for the bedrooms. And mind you, I was a really shy, introverted person, so I was just like, whatever, I'll take what I get. So I, of course, ended up getting one of the rooms without the connected bathroom, but I'm like, whatever, I'll just go in and use one of the other bathrooms. They can't tell me I can't, you know? So I was whatever with it. Anyway, so we're settling in, checking out the place, and then one of the girls who's in the room with me without the bathroom, she comes bounding back into the main part of the apartment because she had gone down the hallway to check out the washing machine and dryer, and there was actually another door at the end of the hallway. And surprise, it was a third bathroom. So this solved the problem of the bathroomless bedroom. And this bathroom was a little bit different. The other two were just like your standard, just, you know, small bathroom with just a stand-up shower, no bathtub, kind of small, but it works. This bathroom at the end of the hallway was very grand. There was a clawfoot giant bathtub and a shower head, fancy sink with a big vanity and well-lit mirror, and its own outdoor balcony. Of course, all the girls who had been fighting for the other bedrooms started salivating over this, but it was decided that those of us in the room without a bathroom, that would be our bathroom. And you could see a little bit of anger and envy in some of their eyes, but it's like, well, you chose the one you wanted. Anyway, so nothing weird happened the first couple of days, though I will say that from the moment I stepped into that bathroom, I don't know, I never got as excited as they did, because I stepped in and I got kind of a weird vibe from it. I don't know how to describe it, but it was one of those vibes where you're like, I don't think I enjoy being in here. I don't know why yet, but I want to leave. See, it was when everybody was in there admiring the bathroom that somebody noticed that there was this weird little door kind of set into the wall. And they sort of tugged at it. It wouldn't open. They realized you had to undo this latch. They did that, and they had to like yank it because it was like swollen old wood. And I'm thinking, okay, let's not be hasty. Let's leave that alone. And they're like, no, we're gonna open it. So they yank it open, and it's this weird like crawl space thing inside the wall of the apartment, and it went pretty deep. It's like 3 or 4 people could like crawl in there easily and have room. And it was just weird. It was dark. It was like almost unnaturally dark for having like a balcony and glass door right behind us. It was dark and very cold, and it had this strange, musky, like very bizarre smell that was not pleasant, and I don't know how to describe it. But from the second that they opened that door, I got this really, really uneasy feeling. Like I just wanted to slam it shut. I don't know why. There was no signs of danger. It's just, you know, when you get those gut feelings and you're like, close that up, get that out of my face. Anyway, they're like, cool, we can store stuff in here. And I'm just like, how about we just close it and we don't? Why is your first impression to find a creepy little miniature door and you want to put stuff in it? That's normal, that's okay, this is fine. And it was okay and fine for a little while. See, later in that day, I went back and I decided I was going to take a shower. And of course, since that one was my designated bathroom, that was the only one I was allowed in. Some of these girls were a little bit weird. On my personal channel, I'm reading through my Italy diaries. You can see what kind of people exactly they were. Most of them were kind of catty, rich girls who, like, because I was poor, I still am, but because I was not a rich girl, I was diseased to them, I don't know. But I wasn't allowed in their bathroom. So I take my stuff and I go down the long, creepy, unnaturally dark hallway with no windows to get to that bathroom at the end, and I'm getting ready to take a shower, and I look at the old clawfoot bathtub, and it's just like covered in this dark, rusty brown color, and there's like splatters of it on the shower curtain, and it's like, I'm sure it could have maybe been congealed rust or something, but I've seen blood, and I've seen congealed blood, and it looked suspiciously like blood, and it was just like splatters and pools of it, and it was, I don't know why it was there in the bathtub. I was like having visions of Psycho, but I called in some of the other girls. I'm like, do you guys want to look at this? Half of them were like, yeah, that's not okay, and the other half were like, it's fine, it's just paint, look, splash water on it, and it like starts to like dissolve away like blood. Paint don't do that, but they're just like, oh, it's fine, just clean it out, it's okay. Speak for yourself. But again, because I was not in the rich girls club, I was banished from the other bathrooms, so I had to try and clean it out as best as possible and then take my shower in there. But let me tell you guys, it's rough when you're in a shower because you already feel vulnerable enough, but when you're in a place that's already got bad vibes going on in it, that queasy, uneasy feeling I had before returned in spades. I don't know, it's just like, it felt like someone else was in that bathroom with me, like eyes were on me, and it wasn't like positive or playful. It was very like angry, kind of oppressive feeling of being watched. And I was just trying to get through that shower as quickly as possible. It's just, I don't know, that's all it began as, was just that icky feeling. But you better believe me, it got worse. See, as days passed by, it started to get so bad that I would not even want to go in there alone. I would come up with excuses to try and get into the other girls' bathrooms. I'd wait until they were gone and try and jump in and, oh, can I come in and hang out and brush my teeth? Oh, I'm already in here, let me just use your sink. Because I don't know why, I got creeped the hell out by just it. You walk into that bathroom and you'd get super nasty vibes, and it was just, I started to feel like I was unsafe in there. So a couple days of this feeling getting worse and worse and worse passed, and that's when something really not okay happens. See, basically, I go in, mind you, this is during broad daylight. I go in to brush my teeth, and no one else had been in there, broad daylight, and the door to the crawl space was hanging ajar. It was just open. And there was no reason for it to be open. I kind of peeked a little bit. There was no stuff being stored in there. There was no reason. And mind you, again, this is something where you have to kind of slam it with force to get it to close because of the swollen wood, and you have to yank it open. So there's no way it would have just kind of popped out on its own. So it was just hanging open like that, and I'm just like, oh hell no, I'm out of here. So I skedaddled on out, and then I started asking everybody in the apartment, like, has anybody been in that bathroom? Because, you know, have you been messing with the crawl space, storing anything? Anybody? Because it's wide open right now. And they're just like, oh, no, I haven't. Nobody had messed with it, but nobody else seemed concerned by the fact that that creepy-ass crawl space was hanging open by itself. Nobody else was concerned because they didn't have to use that bathroom. And I'm like, whatever. I gather my resolve. I get one of my other roommates who's sharing the room with that bathroom with me to come back with me. They look at it and they're like, yeah, that is a little bit weird, but whatever. So, you know, we slam it shut. We redo that latch on it. We make sure it's closed tight and secure. And then we get on out of there, and I try my best to forget about it. So then we go off, we do our classes, we go out and enjoy the city, do all that stuff, and it's not until the evening that we come back, and I go back to the bathroom to get ready for bed, and once again, I go in there, and the crawl space is wide open again. Nobody had been in that apartment while we were gone. I was one of the first people back up there. Nobody had gone down that hallway. Nobody had messed with it. Again, we all left at the same time and we all came back at the same time. Nobody should have been in there to unlatch it and yank that thing open. And that time when I went in there, that was the worst I had gotten that bad feeling. The only, vibes, I don't know how to describe it. The only time I've gotten that worst gut feeling ever was in one of my previous stories where I was dealing with that shadow figure demon, whatever you want to call it, in Shadowkiss's house. That's the only time I've ever felt a more oppressive energy than in that room at that period of time. And at that point, I pieced out of there. Now, let me tell you, in my story, I continue from there, and I make things a lot more colorful and give it a more spooky and fun ending. But the reality, why I would survive a horror movie, that was the point in time where I stopped messing with it. I was done. I refused to go down there again, and I was like, I don't care. These people already think I'm poor and gross and spooky and weird, so it doesn't matter. I'll just tell them that I'm getting mad vibes from that room and I don't want to go in, because for the other girls, that big clawfoot tub and all that was fabulous, so I just made a barter with one of the other girls to, can I take your spot in the other bathroom and you can use the fancy one all you want? And she was fine, so I didn't go in that bathroom ever again while I was in there, because I was just, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened if I kept going in there. Maybe nothing would have happened, but it was escalating. It really was getting bad. And I don't know, I'm just not the type of person to mess with fate like that. Again, maybe nothing would have happened, but with the types of feelings I was getting, I just didn't feel like testing it, you know? I'll tell you what though, one more spooky thing happened while I was there. See, at the very end of my study tour, Rome was the last stop, I was getting ready to go home. I had to go back down the hallway one last time because by the washer and dryer, I had some stuff I needed to get. I decided, you know what? Let me just poke my head in one more time, see what's going on down there. And of course, I don't know what I expected. Crawlspace was open again. Mind you, I didn't talk to the roommates because, again, they kind of ostracized and exiled me for not being a rich girl. But I don't know if, like, it kept opening for them or if it was just, like, screwing with me. But I don't know. So I peek my head in and it's open again. And I decide, you know what? Screw it. I need to have a picture of this to explain to my friends when I get back home. So I gather my courage, I run in, of course I get that nasty freaking feeling again, but I snap a picture inside that crawl space thing, and then I practically run out of there. And it's the weirdest thing because it's just like, the entire time I'm walking down the hallway, I feel like eyes boring into me. You know when that feeling where you feel like something's following you and you're just like, ugh? So I book it out of there. And you see, this was back in the time when digital cameras still weren't incredible unless you had the big, the big professional cameras. I just had one of those crappy, not too many megapixels, little, like, cheap cameras. So I couldn't super see in any detail. I had to actually put them onto the computer to see proper resolution, which still wasn't super great because my camera. So nothing looked out of place there. I'm like, well, there's the frickin' creepy crawl space there. I can show it to my friends. It wasn't until I had jetted off out of there, see you later, back into my home country, get home, and dump all my photos onto my computer that I noticed anything. And it took a while because obviously I had to work through all my other photos from my entire, 3-month stay for the study program. But let me tell you, when I finally got to that crawl space picture, I basically, how whenever you read a creepypasta where it describes you feeling the blood draining and the hairs on the back of your neck, that thing sort of took over me because it looked like there was some kind of face. Now, mind you, I know that it is almost 100% just matrixing because crappy quality camera with low pixels, bad lighting, like, your brain tries to make faces and shapes out of things. However, given everything that happened, a face-like shape appearing over that picture of the crawl space was too much for me to handle. I'll go ahead and put it here for you guys to see what I am talking about. It's kind of spooky. Again, it's most likely just matrixing. I know it's not actually anything. It was just like a little bit conveniently spooky given everything that had happened. Anyway, the crawl space story, it's a fun take based on that. Things get a lot more intense, but I figured I would, since I just got back from Italy and I didn't go up and see the apartment. I saw it from the outside, but I was not gonna go back in there. But seeing the building where I stayed, it sparked these memories, and I decided, hey, since I'm back home and I've been away for a long time and I haven't done a face cam video on this channel for ages, I might as well share the true story that inspired the crawl space story. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I miss doing some face cam videos for you here, so maybe I'll do some more for you guys in the future. But that is all for now, so I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye!